Hi, I'm Craig Lounsbrough. People are really confused these days. I mean, really confused. There's a confusion in our world, particularly in our culture, that's pretty deep. People have all kinds of opinions, and a lot of those aren't grounded in anything other than their right to have an opinion and their perceived right to have that opinion agreed with. It's a time of unchecked permissiveness where conversations around the actual value of something or the potential impact of a particular choice are avoided out of the fear that someone might be offended by our attempts to rescue them from themselves. Many people are really confused these days. We've parked ourselves on the belief that simply wanting something justifies that thing for no other reason than we want it. That's all the justification that we need. And that justification should immediately negate anyone who disagrees with us. And people have based the entirety of their lives, the whole of their existence, on that kind of thinking. And when we do that, we're never going to get what we want, because at some level, we're going to destroy ourselves before we ever get there. Or if perchance we do get there, we'll quickly discover that wherever we ended up is not where we really wanted to be. We don't get the fact that if what we want is in contradiction to the principles that this existence itself is built on, we're going to get something, but it's not going to be what we want. I've done this kind of stuff. I've acted this way. At some level and at some point, I bought that argument and I let my desires for something override everything those desires should have never overridden. And the damage is still something that haunts me yet today. And I would guess that you have some of that too, because we all do. In the Bible, a man named James makes a very profound and really cool statement. He says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." There's the solution to my problem, and it's the solution to yours as well. Look, ask God for wisdom. Don't act on your impulses. Don't do something just because everyone else is. Don't make decisions because something's vogue, because that's often the worst stuff. Sit back and ask what being woke really is, because whatever that is, it's certainly not what we're seeing. We all know where this kind of thinking ends up, and it ends up in confusion. And so, ask God for wisdom. Ask Him. That'll get rid of the confusion. Get a Bible and read it, because that book is full of wisdom. Listen to Christian podcasts, tune into Christian music, go to a church, talk to a pastor. I don't know where you're at in life, or if any of this really matters to you at all, or if you take some opposing position. I don't know. But what I do know is that you've lived the consequence of the choices that you've made. And you're going to continue to make those choices, and those choices will continue to have consequences. So maybe you ought to seriously think about how you're going to make those choices from this point forward.